Hello and welcome to this episode of No Free Lunch, Economics for a Fallen World. We've been talking about public choice, collective choice, and Dean Heyman, the question that I have for you is, you give an example in the textbook about how a collective choice problem can lead to a decrease in social welfare, even though the individual actors, agents are acting rationally.
Yes. So I thought it would be useful for us to walk through that, and we've got the chart from the book illustrated here for us. This can happen through one of two ways, and they lead to the same result. You may, for those that have already read the chapter, a phenomenon called log rolling occurs when simply politicians trade votes. If you do this for me, I'll vote for your project if you'll vote for my project. So, and they keep score if they do that. Now, in some places, vote trading might be considered illegal, and so they might not officially do that. But the same result happens when instead, hey, look, I want this done, you want that done. Let's put both of our projects in this bill, and then we'll both vote for them. You agree? And we would call that a pork barrel legislation because we put enough pork in there for everybody just to get enough votes to pass, right? Because you only need to get a majority to vote for it. Does not mean that all equally benefit. This example is just a numerical example to illustrate this. So in my hypothetical example, I have 5 congressmen and women that are involved in this. And we have 3 projects. There's a VA hospital that would go in Congressman's District A. And if it goes to this district, this congressman, his constituents get a $5 in hypothetical benefit from this. There's also, the other project is going to be in a highway in District B. Well, the people in A don't get any benefit from it. They have to pay taxes, so there's a cost. But the highways, unless they visit there, they're not going to get any benefit. So this is a negative value to them. Likewise, and I use this example because when I originally wrote the textbook, we had 4 space shuttles that were going to be put in various congressional districts, and everybody was fighting to get one in their district, and I was disappointed we didn't get one in Dayton, Ohio. I still thought we should have with the Air Force there. Anyway, so, but let's say the shuttle was going to go to District C, and then they would have a big, tourism kind of target. People in the District A, they don't get any benefit from the shuttle in District C. So we've got 3 projects, but you see, they get a $5 benefit from the first, they lose $2 for the second one and the third one, but they net a positive dollar benefit. So Congressman A is going to vote for this pork barrel legislation because it on net leads to a surplus for his constituents. Now let's look at Congresswoman B. Congresswoman B doesn't get the VA hospital in her district, and her constituents lose $2, but she gets the highway in her district, so she gets the $5 benefit, and she doesn't get a shuttle. She likewise gets a $1 net benefit. She's going to vote in favor of this project. Congressman C, he loses from the VA hospital. His folks have to pay taxes. Likewise, doesn't get the highway. They have to pay taxes. But he's going to get the shuttle in District C. So his net benefit to his constituents is $1. He's going to vote for it. Now we come to the sad realities of Congresswoman D and Congressman E. They have no political power. They're in the minority. They don't get the VA hospital, they don't get the highway, they don't get the shuttle, but they have to pay taxes for each one of these projects. And so their net total is minus $6, and there's 2 of them. So what we have here is a case where the 3 Congress people up above get a $1 net benefit, whereas these total lose 12, so that we get a massively negative benefit to the overall population, yet this will pass a vote 3-2. And this is how you can lead to a result which is socially very unoptimal, while it's rationally optimal for the 3 decision makers to vote the way they do. And now, one last caveat, you can say, well, how do you get this? A lot of this happens actually because it doesn't exactly look like this. Many of times the trade-offs are between constituents who aren't able to vote at all. Those would be kids and people unborn who are inheriting our national debt. We may just give something to all 5 of these, and their constituents are all happy because they're not thinking about their kids and the future that they're going to have to pay this national debt off.
All right. Well, thank you. We're glad you joined us for this episode of No Free Lunch, Economics for a Fallen World.